to talk with you a little bit and hear more about your story, what led you to Tilt Payment Systems, and besides that, besides what you currently do, what's a hurdle that you overcame in your career?
Trying to build it and trying to get clients and trying to build not only the business but kind of my personal brand and having people aware of who I was. I was someone who didn't know exactly what I wanted to do. I had to go through experiences and failures. I spent up until I was 25 years old bouncing around from job to job, trying to figure out what I was passionate about. Um, I didn't I didn't know what it was. I just knew that I wanted to be kind of self-employed. I wanted to have time freedom. I wanted to have control over my income, and I also wanted to build something that I was proud of.
What's something that you remember from either your marketing company or even before that, like one specific problem that you
I had to overcome was learning how to be confident in what I'm charging and also be confident in my value and remind myself that what I'm doing is valuable. And if people don't want to pay it, then they can go find the next guy. The first ever client that I got in marketing, I closed her. It was my first close. I got her to close at $1,900. That was like at that time I was like, oh my gosh, I just got a marketing client for $1,900. She's gonna pay me $1,900 a month. I can, go buy a mansion. But soon after that, I had to close another client, and I told them that client I didn't feel as confident with. So I went in and I undervalued myself and undercharged. And I went in at 1,500. I said, pay me $1,500 a month. He said, no, I'm not going to do that. Well, I was in a position where I couldn't turn down business. So I had to, and that led to a long time of me undervaluing and undercharging my services, which again led to kind of the burnout and resentment of, well, I'm doing all this work, but I'm not getting paid.
a good note for entrepreneurs to take, especially people who are consultants or who provide a service, that confidence in their abilities, in their time, in the
Yeah.
service that they're providing shouldn't detract from how much it's worth. Like what's another serious problem that you had to face? And it could even be in your personal life that you overcame. What hurdle did you overcome in your life?
Building a network and having that network and relying on that network. That's something that has taken a lot of time to build, and I think is going to be a forever thing. I'm never going to be done building my network. I did not come from a place of a large network. My parents, I grew up with a very small family. I had one brother and my two parents, and very small extended family as well. So I felt like I was sometimes behind in business and also in just my personal life because I didn't have a large network. Business and come into entrepreneurship without a network have a lot harder time than those that come in with a network. I'm not saying that's an excuse for success, but it can make things a lot more challenging when you don't have those close knit people that you can go to and serve.
Hmm. That's really awesome. I mean, even people who are single, they can network their way into a relationship, right?
Mhm.
Even
Yes,
someone who's new to business can network their way to their next client or network their way to success. And so
yeah,
that's how we met, right? We met through
yeah,
networking.
absolutely.
And yeah, thanks for sharing that. Thanks for being vulnerable and kind of sharing um your journey with us. If there's anything else you want to say about or any other problems that come to mind that you um can share with us, like how did you
Yeah.
overcome that hurdle?
The one other thing that sticks out to me is just entrepreneurship in general. It's a very tough emotional roller coaster of a ride. And I'm a very big advocate for mental health. I've struggled with mental health for 15 years. And that has been part of my journey as well is,
Mm,
not only trying to figure out what I'm passionate about, but then once I'm passionate about it, finding that steadiness and that security and stability. And all while that, kind of roller coastering around my mental health has been a struggle too. So finding the right resources and, taking time for myself and paying attention to, more than just business tasks throughout the day, has been very beneficial for me and has allowed me to grow in my business and be better at my job and at my career because I've been able to manage my mental health better and, stick with that as well.
it's awesome. Wow. As somebody who has been really trying to understand more about the mental health world, this month I'll be married to my wife for 3 years, and she's a therapist. And so
Okay.
learning that whole language around
Yeah.
therapy, all the jargon around therapy has been so beneficial. Seeing therapists for myself for different issues and problems, and just to talk with somebody who doesn't
Mhm.
know me, who isn't a relative or a friend,
Right.
who's a professional talker who can relate to me and,
Right.
and keep me on track has been so good. And one of the biggest ways that I've been able to handle even the idea of entrepreneurship is through mindfulness, and whether that
Mhm.
be, meditation, or even just taking a
Yeah.
pause before every meal, taking a pause before every phone call, before every event that I walk into, just pausing, like you said, taking considering yourself. And
Mhm.
that's
Yeah.
awesome. I'm really happy you
Yeah.
brought that up.
Yeah. Absolutely appreciate it.
Well, thank you so much. That'll be where I cut. And